Hi, and Mr. Carson here again. And this time I want to look at very briefly what about our data table that we make. Now, we've been working on this for quite a bit of time, and hopefully you are starting to see what's going on. Now, this little data table I've got going on at present on our screen is a little bit not quite as good as it could be, but it's using Excel data. In other words, it's using a spreadsheet to help it do it. So let's have a look at the basics. Right, our data tables show what we measured in relationship to what we changed in our activity. All right, so our data table should show us our independent variable and our dependent variable, and they should be rather clear. All right, so when we actually collect the data we collect is called raw data. Now, then most of the time, we are going to fiddle with that data. We might do some calculations. We might do other things with it. So what we do then is going to call process data. In a lot of classes, you might be asked to separate these two things. So your raw data is going to show your trials. Your process data is going to show things like your average and other things we go with it. So let's go a bit deeper into this. Whenever we set up a table, now I've been talking about an exemplar table, and our data table is always in the same format. So you can see here I've got a format where my first vertical column is going to be what I'm changing. So in other words, it's my independent variable. Now my independent variable always goes in the first column. If you try to do other tables, they don't work. A data table should have all of your information in one table. It's not like having a series of tables, because we want to look at the information and then decide, right, if there are any patterns or links that coexist. Now that's so much easier if I've got everything in one table. If I start to spread it out in more than one table, that is not a good idea. Now we can see that the trials are actually about your measured or dependent variable, but we must totally label it. Now I'll put the information about labeling there to help you out, and hopefully it is going to be useful to you. So let's now look at what a raw data table might look like. Now we did an activity there where we did some jumping jacks and we measured your heart rate using oximeters. So our raw data only shows us what we actually measured, nothing more, nothing else. So it shows us our data tables. In this one, I've got 4 trials at each of my independent variable values. So I can read off what my independent variable values were. I will then have next to it a raw data, in other words, what I measured in each of my trials. Simple, isn't it? So maybe it's an idea to maybe do this next time we do an activity where you're asked to write something down. You show me what you measured, then we can work out what we're going to put in with it. Now, when we process data, we might calculate, we might do other things. One of the obvious things we do is we have an average of our trial data, because we know that we have errors. In other words, we make mistakes. And to try to remove too much of the effect of that mistakes we make, we actually say an average value is going to be perhaps closer to the real number. All right, so we're going to assume that. Now our raw data might be a nice big spread of numbers, and by averaging, we try to focus a little bit on what we think the real number is. Now there is another one here which talks about errors, and you'll learn more about that in year 8 and year 9. But hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on. All right, I'll put another one out very soon about graphs.